What if I told you your dog might be suffering right in front of you and you don't even realize it? Not because you don't love them, but because the signs are silent. That yawn you just laughed at, that little lip lick, that moment they turned their head away. Those aren't random, they're signals. And if you keep missing them, you could be slowly damaging your dog's mental health. Every single day. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 hidden signs your dog is stressed. And trust me, number 3 is something almost every dog owner ignores. Dogs don't speak our language, but they're constantly communicating. The problem is, most owners only understand the obvious signals. Barking, growling, tail wagging. But stress? Stress is different. It's quiet, subtle, easy to miss. And by the time it becomes obvious, it's often too late. Behavior problems, aggression, anxiety, they don't start suddenly. They build up slowly, silently. So if you truly care about your dog, you need to understand what they're trying to tell you before it gets worse. Sign number 1, lip licking. Let's start with something most people completely ignore. Lip licking. Not when food is around, not when they're excited. I'm talking about random, out-of-nowhere lip licking. Most people think it's harmless, but in many cases, it's actually a stress signal. Dogs lick their lips when they feel uncomfortable, nervous, or pressured. Imagine this. You're hugging your dog. You think it's love, but your dog turns its head slightly, licks its lips, and freezes for a second. That's not enjoyment. That's discomfort. It's your dog's way of saying, I don't feel okay right now. But because it's so subtle, most people miss it. And when you keep repeating the same behavior, you're teaching your dog that stress is unavoidable. Sign number 2, yawning. Yawning doesn't always mean your dog is tired. In fact, one of the biggest mistakes dog owners make is assuming yawning equals sleep. Dogs often yawn when they're stressed, overwhelmed, or confused. For example, at the vet during training, when there's too much noise, when you're staring directly at them, that yawn is a coping mechanism. It helps them calm themselves down. But here's the scary part. If your dog yawns repeatedly in certain situations, it means they're not comfortable there. And if you keep forcing them into those situations, their stress doesn't disappear. It grows. Sign number 3, turning their head away. Now, this one, almost nobody talks about, and it might completely change how you see your dog. When your dog turns their head away from you, it's not random. It's intentional. It's called a calming signal. Dogs do this to avoid conflict, to de-escalate tension, to say, I'm not a threat. Please don't pressure me. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Most of the time, they're doing it because of you. Yes. When you lean over them, stare into their eyes, or invade their space, your dog may feel overwhelmed, so they look away. Not because they're ignoring you, but because they're trying to stay calm. And when this signal gets ignored repeatedly, that's when dogs may escalate to growling or even biting, not out of aggression, but because their earlier signals were ignored. Sign number 4, sudden scratching or shake off. Have you ever seen your dog suddenly scratch themselves, even when there's no itch? Or shake their whole body, like they're drying off, even when they're completely dry? Most people don't think twice about it, but this behavior can actually be a stress release. It's your dog's way of resetting their nervous system. Think of it like this. When humans feel awkward, or stressed. We might touch our face, adjust our clothes, or look around. Dogs do something similar. A random scratch, that sudden shake. It's not always physical. Sometimes it's emotional. And if it happens frequently in specific situations, that's a pattern you shouldn't ignore. Sign number 5, freezing or sudden stillness. This one is serious and often misunderstood. When a dog suddenly freezes, goes completely still, most people think, oh, they're calm. But sometimes that's not calmness, that's fear. Freezing is a survival response. It happens when a dog feels threatened, but doesn't know what to do. So they pause, they hold still, they wait. And here's the dangerous part. If that moment is ignored, the next step might not be freezing. It could be snapping. That's why so many bites seem unexpected. But in reality, the warning signs were there. They were just silent. Your dog trusts you completely. You are their world, their safety, their comfort, their home. But trust goes both ways. Because when your dog is stressed, they don't scream. They don't complain. They whisper through small signals, quiet behaviors, tiny changes. And now you know how to see them. So the next time your dog licks their lips, or turns their head away, or suddenly freezes, don't ignore it. Pause. Observe. Respect what they're trying to say. Because understanding these signals doesn't just make you a better owner. It makes you someone your dog can truly feel safe with. And that is everything. Comment below. Which of these signs have you seen in your dog? And did you ever realize what it meant?